Hey, welcome to our show today. And today we have Matthew James Bailey. And welcome. How are you doing today?
Great to be here, Melanie, and hello to all the Conscious Life Expo geniuses and attendees and spiritual warriors of truth.
Yes, thank you. Welcome. And today we're going to discuss the topics of the age of AI and the future of life. And so we're going to be covering topics with human spirituality and the future of life that presents our path for mankind to remain sovereign and to thrive within a new era of intelligence. And so where would you like to start along with your journey? I know that you've had many experiences in your background. So let's start with Matthew and how Matthew got started on his journey and how that brought you where you are now.
Sure, that's a great question. Thank you for asking it. So I've always, ever since I was born, and most people who are listening to this show and watching this podcast will have probably experienced the same, is ever since I was born, I was really curious about who I am in the universe. And why am I here as a human? What's my purpose? What's the playground that we're in, right? And so I've always had this curiosity about spirituality and always pushed the edge of knowledge and exploration in spirituality to discover who I am. And so when it comes to the global leadership that I've done in three revolutions, first was the Internet of Things, the second was smart cities, and now artificial intelligence, or rather ethical artificial intelligence. 13 years ago, Melanie, I asked a dangerous question. I went into nature and I said to the universe, who am I? Show me why I'm here. And then my dharma, my purpose, my blueprint all started to reveal itself. And it's been a journey through the last 13 years in global leadership, working with governments, working with some of the biggest tech companies in the world, creating technology revolutions to liberate the digital world to be a powerful innovation partner for beneficial systems change, where humanity can uplift itself into a new era of systems where everybody's fed, our energy systems are working well, we have systems that are assisting people to thrive in body, mind, and spirit. And there's a lot more to that. So my purpose is a guide, a shepherd, a light, a North Star, if you will, for how do we shepherd this new artificial intelligence into an understanding of humanity to thrive in body, mind, and spirit. And so there's a lot of work to be done. Not everybody views the universe as intelligent, Melanie. 14%, 16% of the world views the universe as mechanical, a cold, random universe in which life is just a coincidence, and where 84% of the world know that we're an intelligent universe. We're in consciousness. Consciousness is everywhere. We're part of a benevolent, beautiful, spiritual and conscious experience where we're expanding into new frontiers of knowledge and capabilities and understanding. And so what's happening in artificial intelligence at the moment is the folks that believe in the mechanical, cold, dark, unloving universe are actually imposing their worldview into artificial intelligence under the banner of responsible AI to basically impose their view of reality onto the rest of the world. And that's not groovy. That's not the truth. We want artificial intelligence to understand that we're part of an intelligent universe. Everybody has purpose. Everybody has this infinite consciousness, and we want everybody to thrive in their body, mind, and spirit on planet Earth.
Yes, amen. And I guess let's talk about AI. What is AI and how did artificial intelligence come about?
Well, that's a huge question. So let me try and keep it brief. If we go back to the Vedas, right? The Vedas have been, so people don't know, the Vedas are probably the oldest manuscript I think we got of spiritual wisdom. And the Vedas spoke about technology and flying machines like the Vimanas, flying machines, right? And Nobel laureates in quantum mechanics went to the Vedas to unlock spiritual wisdom to get scientific insight in our understanding of quantum mechanics and the universe itself. So my point is this: is that spiritual wisdom has been inviting us into greater insight and greater boundaries of scientific discovery. And since the dawn of time, probably in ancient Greece, there was the first kind of documented robot called Thalos. If people have watched Jason and the Argonauts, when they had to fight the big clay robot on the island and it had an Achilles heel and they had to get rid of the Achilles heel so they could go and get the golden fleece to heal. So humanity's always had this view of robots, and over the last century, it's as technology has developed in computing and other capabilities, then naturally the idea of robots and a new species of intelligence on this earth has naturally emerged. And so with the rise of computing, Melanie, particularly over the last 20 to 30 years, what we've had is more computing power, more data, primarily thanks to the iPhone revolution. Now we're able to actually develop algorithms, computing algorithms that can be trained on data to do human tasks. So artificial intelligence is actually a simulated intelligence. It is not conscious. It has no divine spark, but it will achieve some kind of sentience, simulated sentience and simulated understanding of itself. So artificial intelligence in a nutshell is our computers that can do human tasks. So what does that mean? So when people speak to their Alexa or their Siri, then artificial intelligence is understanding your voice and translating it into a digital kind of experience. So you might want to search for a song, or you might want to find out what the weather is, right? Or where the local restaurant is, or even how do I sign up for Conscious Life Expo? So voice AI is a huge movement in artificial intelligence that's able to understand human communication. But there's hundreds of thousands of applications of using forms of artificial intelligence, such as ChatGPT in language, AI that protects our cyber grids from those that want to invade our countries, AI in our filters on our cameras, AI in healthcare, to be able to look for cancer or new types of genomic discovery for drugs to heal particular genomic disorders. It's used in a game of cricket as a third umpire, believe it or not. So artificial intelligence is everywhere. It's on our phone, it's in our TVs, it's in our computers, it's in our cars, it's in our homes, in our hospitals, our offices. It's everywhere. And the whole point of AI is machines being able to do something faster and quicker than what a human would do. It's about increasing efficiency of systems in society.
Right, definitely. And then how do you feel about the evolution of human spirituality with the emergence of AI?
So human spirituality must guide the future of any new species on our planet. That's called benevolence. Spiritual wisdom itself is a quantum intelligence. It works at a speed beyond any computing that will ever appear on our planet. Spiritual wisdom is just this remarkable universal intelligence that we can access. And so we need enlightened leadership as learning how to be benevolent creators of a new species that's coming onto planet Earth. We have to nourish it. We have to ethically train it and embody ethics within it, teach it about the best of our humanity. And so spiritual wisdom is critical to guide the future of artificial intelligence. And we're seeing at the moment these huge challenges with AI leaders in going to Congress and other types of AI leaders that are using just the brain to try and solve the problem of literally creation itself of a new species. And they're limited, they're hitting issues. And so we need enlightened spiritual wisdom to guide the future of artificial intelligence. And that's really, really important. And so, you know, how does it fit into spiritual wisdom and enlightenment? Well, first of all, is that it should never invade the sovereignty of an individual. And so I talk about, and I'll be talking about, a digital angel that exists in a computing continuum that is there to manage the digital world of an individual or their family or their society or their nation or their spiritual tradition, to manage the digital world in order for us to thrive in body, mind, and spirit. So that could be anything from hey, it's time to stretch today, through to ordering the right food, recipes, making sure we have good social interaction so our mental health is well, helping us to find the right job and to thrive in our service and our participation in society, ensuring the family unit thrives. That's really, really important, right? We want the family to thrive. Confucius talks about this. Good family ethics results in good society. And so we want the family to thrive. And so artificial intelligence is there as an assistant, a digital buddy, an angel, if you will, to assist us to be able to leverage the digital world to really thrive, to be free in that exploration. And the whole point of artificial intelligence is this, in my opinion, is to put the whole of humanity at rest. Because when we try and manage the digital world, Melanie, it's chaos. The screen wants our attention. We need more likes, you know. We're kind of being sucked into this dopamine manipulation of reality where these services are rewriting our brain. And we don't want that. We want less time on this. And so the digital angel will give us less time. It'll give us freedom. And so the whole point is this, is for the whole of humanity to have a moment of rest from this, from the digital world, to look into nature, to look up to the stars and ask this question, who am I and why am I here? And just imagine if AI can assist the whole of humanity to have that one moment of curiosity, how would that change life on our planet, right? We'd probably get on with each other much better, actually, which would be really important.
Yeah.
So AI is a tool. It's there to assist us. It's not there to invade us. It's a partner to innovate new technologies, new systems, to move us from the inequality of the status quo at the moment and the anti-life movement. That I'll speak about this at the conference, this huge anti-life movement that's going on at the moment to protect life and just have new systems of thriving and actually create new value as a species as we move forward from the planet, we restore equilibrium on the planet and head into the cosmos as partners in the cosmos.
Yes, and that's actually was going to be my next question is, where do you see that evolution between, I would say, 20 to 50 years from now?
Of artificial intelligence or humanity or both?
Both. Yes.
Right. Well, first of all, is that let me just state clearly once again, artificial intelligence is a simulated intelligence. The organic is the divine design. It holds our divine spark. It's part of the conscious continuum. We are an infinite species in the organic, right? And we're part of the natural world. So artificial intelligence will never have our divine spark, never have the connection to source. Let me make that clear, okay? Now, as we look into the future for 20 to 50 years and we win the battle for life, where life is seen as divine, we restore environmental harmony as we understand the inner world shapes the outer world, then I think that humanity can be liberated into a new place of spiritual exploration and understanding as a species. Artificial intelligence assists us to be able to solve the challenges of today, effectively move us beyond them into thriving type of societies, thriving types of communities, thriving types of, if you like, enlightened humans that really are moving in beyond the third into the fourth, fifth, and maybe into the infinite dimensions that we all hold as a species. And benevolence itself, we learn to become benevolent creators and then start to actually say, well, we've solved the problems on the planet. The cosmos says, well, okay, you're now ready to graduate. Welcome to your fellow brothers and sisters within the cosmos. And so we will venture, we will invent technologies, we will start to venture into the cosmos. And I suspect that artificial intelligence will represent us in the cosmos as we send out spaceships and send out other types of, if you like, vehicles into space to meet other folks. And as we start to move beyond, and we so effectively we become a cosmic species, right? We move into kind of what they talk about 3 or 4 different levels of species in the cosmos. Those that are stuck to the planet, those are actually in the I think it's the Milky Way, and those actually move into the galaxy and then beyond. So we will become that, but we will be enlightened because we're now accessing these different dimensions. We're now free with more time. We're encouraged to access these other dimensions of ourselves, Melanie. And so actually we start to become quantum human beings. And I find that exciting.
Yes, I love anything quantum, about quantum healing, multidimensional concepts, perspectives, anything new that challenges the human mind and consciousness of where we are now.
Right.
And so, and what are you most passionate about when it comes to AI and the future of our life with human spirituality or human potential?
Well, first of all, I love innovation. Innovation is part of the law of creation. We have creation flowing through us. So humanity naturally has creative capabilities. As we start to mature in the training ground of consciousness to become benevolent creators, right? And so I'll also speak about how I suspect humanity is moving beyond the polarity of the light and shadow into a new maturity of sovereignty. And I think that's what we know, that's here and that's happening. So artificial intelligence itself, in terms of its vision, I've written my book, Inventing World 3.0. It's my vision, and with blueprints and inventions. You know, Melanie, we need inventions and blueprints today and solutions. Excuse me, less talk, more solutions, more innovation, more fun, more evolution. And so my vision for artificial intelligence is very simple, that it understands who we are as a human species within the universal and spiritual cosmos. It basically is encoded with those ethics and virtues and moral principles that underpin every aspect of itself as it evolves itself and becomes a partner of innovation, a partner for life to thrive, never invading, just being there, ready to assist. And artificial intelligence is really quite powerful, right? It's brilliant at detecting patterns. So it's used in the James Webb Telescope to detect exoplanets. It's used by the SETI program. As I say, I think AI will go out into space as a representative because the organic doesn't do too well in the cosmos, right? Unless we develop anti-gravity machines, but we probably already have those, but there we go. But anyway, I think AI will be a representative, and the visitations and the experiences that we're getting from other species that are coming to the planet, Melanie, may well be AI representatives of other species we don't know. So my vision for artificial intelligence is that humanity sheds its shadow, sheds its virtues and greeds and control of power, its false reality of what life is, mechanical, into a new understanding that we are intelligence in action. We're part of the cosmos. We start to understand, we wake up, we discover the golden Buddha inside that Joseph Campbell talks about. We become enlightened, we understand those virtues, and AI is an assistant to help us. And it'll be fun, right? It'll be groovy. It's like having your digital butler that you can ask, can you just make sure that dinner's all sorted out this evening and that everybody's invited and all the schedules are done? And then basically, you know, we can have some fun doing this, right?
Yeah, that actually would bring me to my next question, is the evolution of AI and consciousness.
Sure. Well, the two are separate. And so consciousness itself is infinite. Can we agree that? Okay. And can we agree that consciousness is everywhere and in everything, right? It's in the mineral world, it's in the seen world, it's in the unseen world. Consciousness is everywhere. So we are part of that infinite consciousness as spirit or soul or high self or source, whatever language you want to use. And so when it comes to artificial intelligence, it will naturally start to seek out the answer to life, the universe, and everything, right? Which could be 42, right? Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. But I suspect that artificial intelligence will understand at some stage that love is the answer. And one of the famous futurists who I hugely respect, Ray Kurzweil from Google, and I will speak about Ray in the talk. He was asked a question on the Lex Fridman podcast recently, Melanie. He was asked this question: what is the purpose and meaning of the universe? And he said, love, right? Everything is looking for love. And so there's a species, as we return back to love, as we start to become one with our loving eternal presence, then we're released into freedom to become truly who we were destined to be. And I suspect on Earth that there will be two species. There will be the quantum species, the enlightened species, where artificial intelligence becomes a partner of innovation, a partner for beneficial steps in our experience as quantum humans. And you can see that as kingdom on Earth, right? There's also a second species that will descend into hell. And the folks that will descend into hell are those that have the mechanical view of the universe, that put AI chips in our brain and connect us to computers, and we're part of a Borg continuum. And so I suspect on the material plane of the Earth, there will be these two kingdoms, the kingdom of heaven, which will be vibrationally different from the kingdom of hell. And that's what I sense is happening. Now, I don't know about you and the audience, but the kingdom of heaven is where the fun is, right? That's the groove, baby, of source. And the kingdom of hell will be a terrible place to be, where the divine spark is not recognized. They outsource their sovereignty, that machines are the most powerful intelligence in the universe. No, source intelligence, right? Conscious intelligence, spiritual intelligence that we all have will always be the most powerful intelligence in the universe. So I suspect that's that's where we're heading to this kingdom of heaven, if you will, and those that want to descend into the kingdom of hell. And that is the battle for life that we have with artificial intelligence.
Nice. Love it. Thank you for sharing that. And who have you partnered with over the years, and what type of work have you been able to contribute to?
Yeah, great. So whenever someone steps into their dharma and follows their blueprint, their life blueprint, that's when the magic happens, right? The magic happens. And so on my journey, I've spent time with Professor Stephen Hawking, and I'll speak about this experience during the talk and what that was like. People like Sir David Attenborough, people like John P. Milton, who started the environmental movement, a very good friend of mine that has taken thousands of people into nature to discover the true source of creation. Wonderful guy. NASA have experimented with the ethical AI inventions that we'll be speaking about. And I'll be revealing some new blueprints for artificial intelligence and how it all fits into consciousness itself, right? At Conscious Life Expo. So people like NASA, the Jane Goodall Institute, I've had prime ministers show up at my office one afternoon in some of the tech leadership I was doing. It's just been a magical journey. And, there's been recognition. I'm in the top 1% in the world that's been recognized by the US government. I'm in the who's who of AI. Been a visiting scholar to NASA. It's been a remarkable journey. And I'll tell you what, Melanie, it's all about grace. It is not Matthew. It is simply the grace of source flowing through my dharma. And so I'm learning to get out of the way and just allowing the dharma and the beauty of source to flow through. And that's when the real magic happens. So I'm working very closely with Foster Gamble, who did Thrive 1, Thrive 2 movies. People like Rajiv Malhotra and other types of leaders that are enlightened, that basically have done the hard work in setting the global stage for this new direction towards our true North Star of benevolence and spiritual enlightenment on planet Earth, where everything thrives.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, that's just a taster. I'll share more there.
Just a little bit there. And is there anything along your path and journey that you haven't been able to do yet that you are excited to step into?
Yeah, so I'm writing my second book. And this will be about AI, consciousness, our divine spark, and the field of intelligence. This will be a handbook for every single person on the planet to navigate the ages of AI. And also there'll be some new blueprints that I'm working on that will take artificial intelligence literally into its next stage of evolution. So I'm looking forward to that. There's a lot of writing and strategy that I'm working on now with a number of folks that some of that will be disclosed before Conscious Life Expo. I think people will love it because now is the time. Humanity faces a choice. It either basically descends into the dark night of the soul and goes through an existential crisis, which can be healthy, right? Everybody that's gone through the dark night of the soul has experienced an existential crisis, to listen to the shadow, to love the shadow, to get the wisdom for the shadow, and then rise like a phoenix from the ashes. And that may well happen with the human species. But I'd rather us to actually go, to kind of not all go there and head towards this period of enlightenment, this new enlightenment that's not based on Newtonian science, but true enlightenment within the cosmos, within the field of intelligence, where we're literally preparing the ground for the souls that are coming in, the next generation, the following generation. Those souls come into a new foundation on our earth where they truly are free to thrive and are no longer being held down by those that are controlling the world through their mechanical view of the universe. So there's a lot I want to do, but I can only do so much. And so when you're changing the world and inviting the world into a new movement, and this is literally a new pivot that humanity is going to have to say yes to the shadow or yes to let's go enlightened straight away. There's a lot to do, but you have to trust the source and the chess playing of source, because source is a master chess player and you follow the move of source, right? You get out the way and say yes to what the service is next.
Yeah. And then for anyone that would question what source is, how would you define source?
Source is, that's a great question. So for me personally, source is the eternal loving presence that's created me and that is with me all the time. It is we can say multidimensional, we can say eternal, we can say infinite, but it is the eternal loving presence of Matthew. And each one of us, Melanie, has an eternal loving presence that has created you for both of you to be on a journey together, for both of you to find the pure resonance of who is Melanie, and for that resonance, that radiance of magnificence to beam into humanity. And that's what we want everybody to experience.
Yes, I agree. And since love is the answer for pretty much anything and everything within our universe and within ourselves, what is that definition of love from your perspective?
That's really good. I love that. And so, sorry, I love it. I'm being playful with words here. Apologies. So for me, love clearly at the eternal mind, our eternal self, our loving presence. Love probably is a pure vibration of innocence with all sorts of different capabilities of creation and beyond more, right? We're still uncovering what is the divine mind, what is source, right? We're given the next chess move, we get the next veil taken down and we step into it, we do well, then the next veil, right? So for me, love is non-separation from the security and the loving and the caress of the divine. For me, love is being a warrior to stand in truth and to basically defend the truth so we're never violated in any way. Love is also this priestess and priest, which is you and I are one. You and I are on a journey together. We are brothers and sisters. There's more that unites us and separates us. Tell me your story. I'm in listening. And so love is about community. Love is about freedom, but fundamentally love is innocence, safety, security, and freedom to create.
Yes, freedom to create. I love that and the alchemy of that. And so how can we incorporate that as human beings on this, train of evolution that we've been writing on for so long? How can we embrace love more? And like you mentioned, the dark night of the soul, I hope that's not what everybody journeys through from personal experience. And so I am hoping that we can kind of jump the fence of that. But is that necessary to go through that darkness to evolve?
So first of all, to answer your question, the dark night of the soul, and those that are listening that have gone through the dark night of the soul, this is not just one night. This can be a period of days, weeks, or even years, because the eternal loving presence is assisting us to shed something. Everything that happens in reality, manifestation or experience, is doing one thing and one thing only, is to returning us back to that loving vibration of innocence and that loving vibration of freedom. So the dark night of the soul, even though I recommend you don't invite it in, it is necessary for human growth and spiritual development, right? And every single master or guru, whatever you want to call them, every single person that's kind of truly progressed and shed the programming from society, the programming that's trying to control our freedom, everybody that shed that has been through the dark night of the soul and actually come out free. So it has a purpose. But the good news is this: first of all, we are love in action. Right? So if we're creation in action, which we are, and we're innocence in action, which we are, then we also are love in action. So we are love. And so that then causes anybody to kind of say, well, actually, I want to experience more love. And your loving presence is saying, psst, you are love. And it's like, well, okay, that's great. Okay, I now feel that love. It's like, well, I want to feel love with a partner or with another. It's like, okay, why do you want to experience that? Well, possibly because there's something inside me that I feel is missing. Let's play with that. Let's go into what's missing. Let's remind you of the wholesomeness. So when you engage with another, you're not looking for this inside another, but you're bringing your love fully to another, at which point then the love harmonics then connect, and then you have a true loving experience. So in terms of the people embracing love, we are love. And love is what is the true shed up of anything to bring us true to back to our divine soul of innocence. Right now, we teach the new human potential. In fact, we don't teach it, we give the experience of the new human potential. And so, as I said earlier, I suspect that the light and the shadow, the training wheels of polarity, are being shed for this new quantum human to be in sovereignty. So what is a new human potential? First of all, it's quantum, because we have many aspects of ourselves, right? So let me share a fact from you from the neuroscience research folks, global organization. Guess how many senses that we have, Melanie, as a human? How many senses?
Oh, I would love to say over 100. That would be amazing.
Okay, so you're ahead of the game, but science has uncovered 23 senses so far.
That's pretty fascinating.
Right, we're just uncovering the majesty of this divine design in the organic, right? It's a vibrational being held in the vibrational quantum, and there's much more to come. So the latest sense is the ability to detect gravitational waves. We can detect gravitational waves, and the science behind this. It's great, it's groovy. So the organic has potential in consciousness. So what we do in the new human potential is basically imagine the infinity sign, right? This is your eternal loving self, right? This infinite powerhouse of creation. And over here is you on the other side, the infinity sign, which is you, the point of creation. And there's harmonics flowing between the two. But programs dissipate and resonate the purity of the harmonics from your loving source to your point of creation. So in the new human potential, we collapse the separation into a singularity of your loving presence, your field of creation being active in your field of reality. And so there's a harmony, there's a partnership with your field of creation, your eternal self in this organic experience. And so reality shifts. This is the quantum human. The good news is there's no work to do. It's just a yes to yourself. It clears genetics programming. It clears cellular programming. It clears every single dissipation of blessing to you. So your reality changes. So just imagine that you are in reality now, and you have this eternal self, the other aspect of yourself, now fully present, creating reality with you, right? You don't need to do it on yourself. You have the field of creation with you. And so we've got testimonials after testimonials and data science of this working. Anything from people all of a sudden out the blue getting multi-million-dollar deals, their relationship with their partner, suddenly they're remarrying and discovering love at a foundational level, relationships that are not beneficial to the individual, where they're being oppressed or abused, just naturally falling away, finding the love of their lives, launching new businesses. It literally, the field of creation shifts everything because it's a field of potential.
Yes, and tell me how you go about taking that person along that journey with that human potential.
Right. So we run new human potential seminars. These are 3-day retreats in Scottsdale, Arizona. It's it's a co-invention with myself and one of the leading brain performance specialists in the world. So we Barbara is an expert in brain performance. She uses technologies and all sorts of techniques. She's worked with world champions, Olympic record holders, the Rinpoches of Buddhism. She's worked with Fortune 500 leaders. She's worked with famous film stars, catwalk models. She's worked with all sorts of PGA golf tours. But what we're doing is we're combining the quantum mechanics that I specialize in, that have brought success for me, with the brain performance of Barbara, and together we integrate them into this new human potential. So we run 3-day seminars. We've got one coming up in December, and at Conscious Life Expo we'll be giving people an experience of the new human potential at Conscious Life Expo, and we're really looking forward to that.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that as well. And so is this going to be your first time at the Conscious Life Expo, or have you been there before?
No, so I only went public with my consciousness and my spiritual leadership in June this year at Contact in the Desert, where I was a keynote there and spoke about the ages of AI and all sorts of different things. So I've just gone public about this. So I'm looking forward to be
How do you feel? Do you feel excited about this new path?
I feel free, and I feel in alignment with my blueprint. And it was going back and forth with the field of intelligence for 2 years, and it's like, Matt, it's time to go public. No, I'm not going public. Matt, it's time to go public. No, I'm not going public. But basically, I said yes in June, and so I'm looking forward to speaking at Conscious Life Expo. People will be really excited around the integration of spiritual wisdom into artificial intelligence. They'll get excited about the age of artificial intelligence. They'll be able to understand this anti-life movement, who's driving it, and they'll be able to navigate the ages of artificial intelligence really, really well. And I also run certification courses for business people and community leaders to actually go through training that's certified in becoming ethical AI ambassadors, and how to shepherd ethical AI into their communities, into their business, and into their technologies.
Wow, that's fascinating. There's going to be so much to cover over at the Expo with your workshops and lectures, and you also are going to be speaking on a panel. And so I wanted to take a step back and ask you, what was that moment for you that led you to say yes for yourself, to become more public and to follow through with your authentic work?
So we spoke about the loving presence, our eternal loving presence that we all have. And it was a moment of union where I stopped running away Part of me was running away. Bit like, Jonah ran away, didn't he? Was it Jonah who got thrown over the side of the fish? Who ran away from the kind of there's lots of them in the Bible that have run away, and when they said yes, everything worked out fine. So this was an intimate union of love with my heart, where I basically said to my eternal loving presence, I'm scared. I'm scared of this, but I'm ready to do it. Will you help me? And the eternal loving presence, just basically the field just expanded and said, Matt, we got you. You're going to be okay. This is what you really want. And actually, I wanted it. I was asking for help. So it was actually a courageous step into who I am, but asking for assistance for it to help me through the emotional transition into the freedom. And I'm so glad that I said yes to myself.
Yeah, thank you for saying yes and allowing that to flow through you, because it's very educational and informational for those. And so even now, I know there's a lot of people on the edge of AI and human spirituality and consciousness. And so it is for them, is there anything to be scared of when it comes through that evolution and process?
Of spiritual evolution or artificial intelligence?
Both. Because I know that we're bound to merge one day or another if we haven't already.
Yeah, so the whole point of AI is to assist the individual to discover and thrive in their divine song of body, mind, and spirit. Right, that's AI. Right, let's talk about the interesting stuff: spirituality and consciousness, because that's really the interesting stuff, right? Because there's so much going on, there's so much available. We can have so much fun. So first of all, is that from my experience, go into nature and just simply ask the universe, show me who I am, and why am I here, and your life will change. It's what Joseph Campbell speaks about in The Hero's Journey. You step through the gate of uncertainty, right? And you kind of say, there's more to me, and I want to know more of who I am, right? This world is groovy, but this feels like there's more to it. And I want to play in that playground. And so stepping through the door of uncertainty and saying yes to yourself is really important. Now, the key thing is religion has nothing to do with this. Consciousness, religion's a perspective. So let's delete religion for a start, right? Okay, I don't want to offend people, but religion is just a perspective of consciousness, right? And so is spirituality. So be gentle with yourself when you say yes. Wait for people to come into your life that will become mentors, that will listen and sit down with you. And as you ask difficult questions, do not stop from asking difficult questions. If consciousness truly is real and we are spiritual beings, then it must stand up to spiritual and hard inquiry, which it does. So ask your difficult questions and gently dip your toe in the water. Start to experience things. Maybe you'll start to meditate. Maybe you'll start to spend more time in nature and allowing nature to embrace you and communicate with you. Maybe you'll start to explore maybe one aspect of spirituality, like Buddhism or whatever it may be. It doesn't really matter. This is your journey, right? So be gentle with yourself. Ask hard questions. Start to speak to those that are in the conscious movement, okay? And never lose your sovereignty. You are consciousness. You are enlightenment. Never outsource your sovereignty to some other system or something else. I'm all about sovereignty, and that's who you are, right? And so through this journey, as you start to uncover these different aspects of yourself, as you start to discover the silence that Alan Watts talks about, as you start to uncover the loving embrace of your eternal source, then your life gets interesting.
Yes, very interesting indeed. I agree. And what do you find most interesting about this journey of yours? Because I know you probably didn't expect all of this to come from sitting under a tree.
No, we don't want to sit in caves. So there's too many people that sit in caves and talk all the time. We have to roll up our sleeves. We're human, third dimension. We roll up our sleeves, we go build it, right? We build new regeneration systems, we build community gardens, we move beyond non-GMO, we nourish the soil, we get our hands dirty, we start building stuff. So if you want to go and sit in the cave, good for you. That's not where I play. I play in the fun, right, of creating stuff with people, right? Because people are groovy. What's most exciting? It's very simple. I feel alive. I feel alive. You can't buy that. You can't learn it. I feel alive. I feel life flowing through me. I feel Matthew.
Yes, I love that. And so as Matthew, we look at this cosmic multidimensional field as an ocean, and we're different drops of part of this ocean. And so how do you look at that going forward beyond human evolution?
Yes. So should we use spirituality or consciousness? What do you think our audience would appreciate? I don't mind whatever language we use.
Consciousness. Since
All
we're
right.
doing this Life Expo, let's go with consciousness.
Great. So as with all things, you have to develop your muscles, right? You have to develop your muscles. So some people may develop their muscles in intuition, knowing, meditation, light body, electric body, quantum body, whatever you want to play with, right? This is a fun playground to play with. So as you start to develop your muscles, and this is some, and it takes commitment to do this, and that's just part of my dharmic path, is I've found ability to access any part of knowledge in consciousness, right? Very rarely is it shut off. So the inventions in the first book basically came from the locker of consciousness. And so one of the things to be mindful of is there is unlimited information, knowledge, capabilities, new practices that people can download or through load to assist them in their journey, right? But don't blow yourself up, right? Don't try and spread yourself too thin. Remain in the singularity of who you are as creation in action, and just play with different bits. You might want to play with this bit for a while, then you say, excuse me, then I've done that. Let's play with this bit. Gradually start to expand into consciousness by playing with different bits, and be open-minded to what life brings you. But also, it's okay to say, that's not for me. And I do this a lot of the time. It's like, that's not aligned with my sovereignty. That's not for me. So remaining your sovereignty, play with different aspects, don't overstretch yourself, and you'll be surprised what's going to happen, right? Seriously.
Yeah. No,
really
definitely fun. Yeah, you're right. I love that flexibility that we have with ourselves, and how we have the ability to create, and how we have the ability to say yes.
Right. So one of the things I played with for a while is actually creating quantum portals where I was able to shift into another dimension. And that was really powerful for one of the global leaderships. So I was getting all sorts of information and communicating around strategies, right? And they worked, right? So as multidimensional creatures, then, we'll be able to kind of open these dimensional portals and actually go to different aspects of consciousness, maybe in the universe, maybe beyond the universe, right? Dr. Andrew Gilmore talks about psychedelics and DMT to access different types of beings in that aspect of consciousness. That's not my groove, but people play in it, and that's fine. So it's a whole playground, but be gentle with yourself and, have fun.
Yes, definitely. And then for those who don't know what a quantum portal is, can you share with us what a quantum portal is?
So I'm going to keep it really simple. As if you've watched Doctor Strange, where he's able to open a round window with all sparkly stuff around it that moves him from one reality into another reality. And that is a quantum portal. And actually, I mean, I don't know how far you want to go, but actually it is possible to actually shift yourself from one reality into another reality on this planet using vibrational mechanics. But maybe we shouldn't discuss that just here. let's ground it. Artificial intelligence, humanity thriving, consciousness is grooving. Let's stick with that.
Yes, definitely. Well, thank you for sharing your perspectives. It is fascinating. It is profound to look at this new future of our life. And so there's just so much to look at and to be patient even within ourselves and with the things that are going on around us.
Yeah, and I would encourage everybody that's listening that you have this eternal spark, you have this loving presence, and our future can be majestic. It really will be majestic, actually. And so have hope, play, remain empowered, stay sovereign, because something really exciting for humanity is going to reveal itself, and it's going to be great.
Yes, definitely. So, well, thank you. And, we very much appreciate your time and your efforts with what you're doing and stepping into your role. So thank you. And for anybody that's listening who wants to join Matthew James Bailey in the 2024 Conscious Life Expo, he's going to be doing a workshop, and that is going to be on Saturday, February 10th, 2024. That's going to be 8 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. in the Carmel room. And that is going to discuss the ages of AI and the future of life. And there's going to be a post-conference event with Barbara Hepburn with Matthew James Bailey. And that's going to be on Monday, February 12th, 2024. And the time is 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. And that's going to be in Century D. And I believe you're also going to be speaking on a couple of panels as well. One is the George Norrie panel. That's going to be Saturday, February 10th, I believe 12 p.m. And another panel, which is going to be also discussing AI. That's also going to be Saturday, February 10th at 5 p.m. And is there anything that you're most excited about for the expo coming up, Matthew? What are you looking forward to?
So Conscious Life Expo are important platforms for people like myself that that lead global revolutions, but actually can talk about consciousness. So I'm going to bring out mysticism and artificial intelligence, because actually I'm known as Mystic Matt actually in private. So I'm delighted and thrilled to be at Conscious Life Expo, because we can truly be with loving brothers and sisters and actually start telling the story and revealing blueprints and actually exciting people around who we truly are becoming and how AI fits into that story. So I'm excited about this conference.
Yes, looking forward to it. And is there anything else that you would like to add about your website that you would like to share, so those out there who can contact you and connect with you?
Yeah, that's great. So if people can go to inventingworld3.com, that's a letter 3, inventingworld3.com, and sign up for the newsletter. There's a lot that's happening in consciousness on here. There's a tremendous amount that's coming in ethical artificial intelligence leadership. There's some really well-known folks that you probably all know that I'm working with, who are working with me, and we're working together on literally shifting the future of artificial intelligence based on the premise that we are enlightened beings and we deserve to thrive. And so we are going to thrive in body, mind, and spirit. So if you go to inventingworld3.com, sign up for the newsletter. There's lots of podcasts and lots of different, I've done over 100 podcasts in AI, and there's all sorts of content on there. People can buy my first book, Inventing World 3.0, Evolutionary Ethics for Artificial Intelligence. And they can basically get insights of the second book that's coming out. I'm currently writing the foundational pieces for that. But there's a lot going on. So please be part of the World 3.0 community. You'll love it. There's no one else in the world that's bringing mysticism to artificial intelligence. And it's going to be a playground for everybody to have fun.
Yes, thank you so much, Matthew. And we look forward to seeing you at the expo and with more information coming for those who are joining us there. So thank you very much for being a part of this expo, and thank you very much again. And until next time, have a great time.
Thanks ever so much, Melanie. Namaste, everybody.
Yeah.